Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mary Lou with Nursing in Progress. This is the first week of nursing school virtually, of course. I just want to go over what I've been doing during this first week. It's a lot of information. So I'm just going to get started, guys. So this week we got our schedules. Actually, we got it like 2 weeks ago. So I'm lying about that. We got it 2 weeks ago, and I kind of just want to go over how I stay organized and what is helping me, stay on top of what I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, let's see what we got. All right, so I'm gonna start out with my folder. As you guys can see, I have it right here. What I first did was I went ahead and put the schedule in on my folder. This folder I got it at the dollar store, so anybody could get a folder like that. And then I just have my classes right there, meaning that I don't get confused, like, okay, what day is it? Okay, what class do I have? And therefore, I just already have it right there in my folder. I grab it, I go, and I know what class I'm taking because there's so many classes this first week. I'm a little confused as to what class I am taking. So that's what I'm doing, guys. Another thing that, we were advised was about the med exam they were supposed to take. So with that being said, what I'm doing right now is just going over my dosage calculations, because that test, as I mentioned on my previous video, has to be 100%. So I'm going over my calculations, and I don't know if I told you guys, I think I did, but about my ATI. So like with ATI, once you do have an account and all that information is thrown in there, you could go in there and like do like quizzes that will quiz you on med math. So that's another thing that I'm doing, hopefully, so that I could pass that test, because I really need to pass with 100. So I'm doing that. This is very important. Know your dosage, guys. Know your dosage. That is something that they told us that we needed to do. Another thing that I'm doing is my planner. As you guys can see right here, let me get it out. Oh, good. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying prior, our planner is very important, because this is where we have all that information. So on the first week of class, they give us all this information. Hey, you guys are going to be doing this test on this day, exam date, information. All right, so as you guys can see, my calendar is fairly full. I have a lot of things going on, and I'm not even done, inputting all that information that I have to do, meaning that I still have assignments that need to be due. On a daily basis, I did notice that I would say it's like 2 assignments, I guess every day of the week for a different class, because since it is a few classes, every class does require you to do either 1 or 2 assignments that week. So with that being said, I also want to go over like how long those assignments take. So if you have an assignment on ATX, like let's say example, that assignment could take, or it took me like 45 to like 2 hours, only because I like to like look at every detail, make sure I have everything. But those assignments are generally like an hour. The average person could probably do it like in 45 minutes. It depends on how you study. Me, I like to look at everything, make sure I have that information, make sure the data stays in here. I know I understand it. I look at the what the definition of that word is, because if there's something that says something that I don't understand, a medical term that I might not even understand, I'm gonna go look for it. I'm gonna look for it, and I'm gonna be like, okay, I know what that means. Okay, so if I don't understand it, I'm not just gonna keep reading and be like, oh yeah, blah blah. No, I'm gonna understand what it means. Anyway, that's the way I do it. But yeah, never mind that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And yeah, a little advice I would give you guys is basically try to stay organized. So like how this is me trying to be organized. It's a lot, guys. Like this is taking me forever, just like putting down the assignments that I have due. I also have a little thing right here that I printed out for my Canvas, all the stuff that I need to do on that week. So on that week, I just print it out, and I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do, and then I just cross it out. I haven't done that because, oh my god, it's just so much. this first week, the homework that we did, it literally took me like, let me see. First week of homework, we had 5 assignments. They each took me like an hour. But since I kept, going over it, reading and all that, I would say an average of like 10 hours just doing the homework and reading that information that pertains to that homework. Now, it could take longer because like I said, it takes me longer because I have to look for the medical terminology. I have to understand. So that's why it does take me a little bit longer. So on average, I would say 10 hours of just doing your homework. It just depends on how you do it, how fast you do it and everything. Not saying that it's actually going to take that long, but I would say like I schedule myself at least 2 to 3 hours to study a day, including weekends. So like if I do 2 or 3 hours, let's say every day, I'm doing from 1 to 3 p.m. or like varies if I have class. Okay, another thing I want to go over is study guides. A lot of these teachers are not going to give you guys study guides, so be prepared. You could ask your teacher like, hey, what's a study guide? What can I study? A lot of them are going to be like, no, we don't have study guides. So you would have to go based upon what you've learned on that week. I think that ATI is very helpful because it's like a step-by-step thing that helps you out with the information that is given on that week. Here's an example of what I go over. As you guys can see, these are the words that I didn't understand. And so then I just put them in the front of my little notebook and just, go over them. So like if this, week we're reading about, autonomy. I don't know what that means. Well, I didn't know what it means. Now we're going to definitely learn a lot about autonomy. Not anatomy, autonomy. The right or condition of, self-government for the patient. So it's like we're going to learn a lot about that. We're going to learn I can't even talk, guys. We're going to learn about the 6 rights. We're going to learn about head to toe assessing, the patients. That information is given to us, right there and then. And it's up to us to understand what we're doing. Because as a nurse, I don't want to be incompetent. I want to be competent and I want to know what I'm doing. And I want, people to... people that I work with to know what they're doing too, like know the reading, know what's going on, not just be like, oh, well, I'm just here just, to get a good grade. Because sometimes it's not even about that. Being a nurse is mostly about just, critical thinking. And unfortunately, we have to learn that the hard way. So I'm going to go over my books, how I stay organized. So I'm old school, guys. I like to put everything and write everything down. All right. So with that being said, I have all these notebooks, and all these notebooks is basically a class. And with that being said, every class, lab, and all that is in here. So for my Tuesday class, I obviously put a little sticker right here that says, Tuesday, health assessment, time, and all that, teacher's name and all that information. When I'm taking that class, what I do is I just, take notes down or have previous notes. So all of this information, and then after class I go over it and I just summarize, and then I just put it in my head and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I also underline the main key points. So like that main key points are what are probably gonna be in the test. So like example for this week, let's say health assessment. That is something that is like keep repeating it. The teacher keeps repeating it. So I'm like, okay, if she keeps repeating this means that this might even be on the test. So that's giving me a clue, guys. So I'm like, okay, so not saying that's going to be on the test. I'm just saying that if the teacher keeps talking about it, to me, it means it's going to be on the test, honestly. So yeah, that is what I have. My notebooks are right there. Flashcards to study. So when I do my ATI, at the end of your ATI module, you're gonna have tests. What I do is I write those down and then I put them in my flashcards. Then I go over that because I feel like those ATI modules are to teach you, and if you could write stuff down, that's what I'm doing to help me like study. And like not the actual question, but if that ATI question tells me like, okay, so let's learn about, health assessment, as I mentioned prior. And it's talking to me about something in particular. I'm going to write that down and be like, okay, this is what they want to know. They want to know what this is about, the history of the patient. What does it include? this and that. That's the stuff that I'm gonna put down on my notes. So I'm gonna go over it. So if I know that, you know, they want to go over things like balance, I'm gonna look for stuff that has to do with balance on my book, and, you know, do the reading. I honestly, with the reading, I just put it on my ebook, and then on the ebook I'll just like let it play while I do chores, or while I, like, you know, go out, drive my car, whatever. So that's what I do, so that I don't have to do the reading, because I don't think I have any time to read that. So I just put it, and then, you know, I play it, and then in the background I just hear it, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yes, I remember going over this in the PowerPoint, and then it kind of like makes more sense, because when you do the reading, it kind of gives you details rather than in the PowerPoint, because in the PowerPoint it's just going to briefly tell you, you know, health assessment. But when you actually do the reading, it tells you, like, you know, normal BP, respiratory, and all that information, which gives you a more detail of what you're actually doing. And when you are assessing a patient, you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. So yeah, those are things that I feel like might be helpful for a test. Again, I haven't taken a test because this is literally like the first week, and I'm just giving you guys an overview of what might be going on and how you guys could, you know, do this. This is how I'm doing it. So so far so good. I'll give you guys updates on, you know, my second week and all my other weeks, just so you guys could like know what's going on. I'm not gonna give you guys any answers or anything like that, but I'm just like trying to prepare you guys so you guys can know like what's coming, because a lot of these things, like, I feel like I've asked myself, like, hey, I wonder how they're doing it. I wonder how, you know, this works, that works, and stuff. What I did is, prior to, you know, doing my core, I bought like NCLEX, you know, a book, and I just went over it. Doesn't mean I kept reading it every day, because obviously I wasn't reading it every day, but it just like, I just kept reading like the NCLEX, you know, book, and it kind of gave me like an overview. So now that I'm actually taking the class, I kind of know, like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. I remember reading this. Doesn't mean that I didn't read, you know, I can't even talk today. I didn't really read the book, but it's like, I kind of went over like questions, and I'm like, oh, okay, why is this question right? And why is this question wrong? Because as a medical assistant, like, it's different, guys. It's totally different. If you have any medical background, it's totally different, because there's a difference between, like, obviously being in front of a doctor's office than being in the hospital. So like, there's definitely a difference. I kind of want to tell you guys that as well. Don't think that, oh, I have medical background, I'm the best, blah blah. Yes, it comes in, but it's just like the critical thinking that they kind of want to go over with you guys and whatnot. All right, and one last thing, just remember, guys, go over your dosage medication. Remember, dosage medication, number one priority. Second thing is, like, no you know, critical thinking. Try to get like I said, I would definitely recommend buying an NCLEX book if you want to. If not, just, you know, go online, get those free NCLEX apps. That's what I did too, and it kind of like helps me out. Yeah, some of them are like $5, some of them are a little bit more. Those apps really do help. But yeah, those things that are helping me out right now with, you know, nursing school and stuff. But yeah, I'll definitely keep you guys updated of anything. I just wanted to let you guys know how my first week of nursing school is. And what I mean by nursing school, I obviously mean core, not just, you know, gen ed. This is my actual, you know, core and all this stuff, and how I'm staying organized in a way. I'm not telling you that I'm perfect or anything, because I'm not. Definitely, you know, I'm trying to stay on top of it, because obviously, like, there's a lot of people that, you know, they have kids, I have kids, so it's like you're staying on top of like taking care of your kids, you're staying on top of like other things. And yeah, guys, it's something that's like, if you guys really want this, you guys would definitely go for it. So that's what I want you guys to be successful. And again, want you guys to like know and be updated on anything. If you guys have any questions, feel free to, like, you know, leave me a comment, like this video if you guys think it's good. Let me know anything and I'll try to help you out. But just like, don't tell me like, oh, you know, questions or like answers, or like what's the exam about, because I can't give you guys answers. All I could give you guys is advice, and that's what I'm here for, to give you guys advice and help you guys out like in your journey. Just like you guys are here with my journey, I want to be there for your journey. And yeah, you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, guys.